40 alumni joined 60 undergraduate brothers in the Great Hall for the 2016 Brotherhood Dinner, where past Grand Consul Dick Hester inducted Jim Dora, class of 1958, into the Order of Constantine. The MC for the evening was Phil Steele.
Tonight, of course, we're here to recognize a very special person who has committed his life to this chapter and to the fraternity, and someone that we are truly grateful to. And we're glad to have this opportunity to recognize him for his commitment for so many years. And tonight we're going to have a chance to have Brother Hester come up and start the evening's activities with his part of the presentation.
It's a very special honor for me to be here to present this Order of Constantine Award. One of the great things about being a past Grand Consul is when the Grand Consul can't be here himself, you get to take his place. So on behalf of Brother Arcillo, I'm very happy to be here. Benjamin Pyatt Runkle, Thomas Cowan Bell, William Lewis Lockwood, Isaac M. Jordan, Daniel William Cooper, Franklin Howard Scobie, James Parks Caldwell, and James E. Dora Sr.
Because I'm his oldest one.
Now, Jim just confirmed, number one, he did not know them. But it was the type of response that we would all expect from Brother Dora. One of great humility. Just like our founders, when the undergraduates wanted to put the founders in our ritual, the founders didn't want it. Just like Jim gave me that look when I mentioned his name with our founders. The founders deserve to be in the ritual, and Brother Dora deserves to have his name mentioned with our founders. For particularly our guests here present, the Order of Constantine is the highest award that Sigma Chi may bestow upon a brother for service to the fraternity. When brothers are nominated, there's a nomination process. And quite frankly, most people do not get it the first time they are nominated. Brother Dora was nominated for the first time this year. It also requires the nomination 5 letters of endorsement. And they have to be from brothers who can truly attest to the quality of your service to the fraternity over your lifetime. Sometimes it's hard to get 5 brothers that actually know how much you've done for the fraternity to write a letter. Brother Dora had 18 letters of endorsement, by far the most I've ever heard of for anyone nominated. In his nomination form, quite frankly, it goes more about much deeper than service. It goes to impact. Impact on the lives of individual brothers, as well as the fraternity as a whole. And as you can imagine, the one who led the nomination process, Brother Bernie, put together by far, it was a Sergeant Skinner production. By far the best nomination form that I've ever seen in my years involved with Sigma Chi. Just a few highlights. Brother Dora has been very active in Sigma Chi throughout his life. He has regularly attended alumni meetings in both Indianapolis and Naples, Florida. He actively and financially supported Delta Delta as far back as the 1980s, when he provided the chapter house with a new kitchen. He provided headquarters and Indiana chapters with very special race hotels for decades. Jim received the significant SIG award right here in the Great Hall. 2001. And may I share with you, it's very rare that a brother receives a significant SIG award for attainment in whatever field of endeavor he's chosen that is very high and special, and also receive a service award for high and special service in Sigma Chi. Brother Dora is one of those few who has now received both. In 2002, he attended the Balfour Leadership Training Workshop as a distinguished visitor. At homecoming here at Purdue in 2003, Jim was the catalyst to start the chapter house renovation campaign for Delta Delta. He attended the 2004 Grand Council and the 2005 Grand Chapter, which he was inducted into the one time only we had the Sigma Chi Hall of Fame. He was a member of the International Fraternity Strategic Planning Committee for several years, and he served on the board of the Delta Delta House Corporation from 2007 to 2013. Brother Dora, you have and continue to wear the white cross in a manner the 7 founders would have commended. It is my great honor to officially induct you into the Order of Constantine. I'm presenting Brother Dora the official Constantine lapel pin, Constantine certificate, and for permanent display in the Delta Delta chapter house, and a copy of the application with all 18 letters of endorsement from the brothers who value your service to Sigma Chi.
Thank you. Thank you so much. Let me get a picture.
Jim Dora's daughter Libby read a letter from her son Wade, Jim's grandson, who is a SIG at Lambda chapter.
As I entered college, I knew that I wanted to join a fraternity, and I had a pretty good idea which one. I knew that my grandfather, James Dora, was not only a member of Sigma Chi, but an influential brother. From speaking to my mother, as my papa was too humble to admit it himself, I became aware of the magnitude of my grandfather's contributions to the fraternity. Papa's work went far beyond his 4 years at Purdue University, noted by his receipt of the exclusive Significant SIG Award. Entering my freshman year, I knew that just 3 years prior, my older brother had been granted the memorable privilege of being pinned to Sigma Chi by our grandfather. Seeing pictures, hearing a few stories, and knowing what kind of people I would be around was enough for me to make my decision. I wanted to be a Sigma Chi. And I was fortunate enough to be asked to pledge at IU. On December 14th, 2013, I was surprised by a familiar voice in our chapter room. I turned around to see a wide grin from my grandfather and a matching expression from my older brother, a moment I will never forget. Although Papa was in enemy territory, none other than Bloomington, Indiana, I can only hope that he enjoyed the pinning ceremony half as much as I did. And as the years continue, I can only strive to be half the brother that my grandfather has been, and to this day still is. Congratulations, Papa, on yet another well-deserved recognition for your exceptional contribution to Sigma Chi. Love, Wade.
This is where Jim and I met. Here's a picture of the night we met when we got the Norman Shield. In those days, we had a fall pledge class and a spring pledge class. Pete Clark and George Morton were in the fall class. Jim and I were in the spring class. And so 61 years and 3 months ago, this picture was taken when we first met. Dick talked about all the things many of the things that Jim accomplished within the chapter, for the chapter, and for the International Fraternity. But he has accomplished much outside of Sigma Chi as well, but he is the most modest and humble person that I have ever known. He built a very successful hotel and restaurant business. He was a major player and leader in the development of downtown Indianapolis. He was the key in getting the Colts to come to Indianapolis. In fact, George Morton just saw
Yeah,
a PBS special,
right.
and it had
The end of it was Mayor Hudnut.
Mayor Hudnut and Jim and one other person
Yeah.
were featured, with Jim pumping his fist at the Colts coming. He was on the board of Arrow Mayflower Van Lines at the time. He called the CEO Smith of the Van Lines because the Maryland legislature was going to pass legislation that would prevent the Colts or make it difficult for the Colts to leave. And so 22 Arrow Mayflower vans loaded up everything that the Colts had, and when the legislature came into session that day, those 22 vans were on the Pennsylvania Turnpike heading for Indianapolis. So he's done a lot. Not one, but two Indiana governors named Jim a Sagamore of the Wabash. Here at Purdue University, he was co-chairman of a very successful fundraising campaign when President Deering was in office. 25 years ago, the honorary co-chairman of that campaign were Neil Armstrong and Gene Cernan. But Jim did the work. Jim was one of the first 5 alumni to be awarded Purdue University's prestigious Order of the Griffin, and along with Armstrong and Cernan. He's also received honorary doctorate. He damn near didn't graduate as an undergraduate. But he received honorary doctorate degrees from both Vincennes University and Purdue University. As Dick mentioned, there were 18 brothers who wrote letters of support for Jim's nomination to the Order of Constantine. Of these writers, 2 are past Grand Consuls, Dick and Keith Kropp. 2 are current Grand Trustees, 10 are significant SIGs, and 10 are members of the Order of Constantine. Congratulations, Phil.
I am both humbled and appreciative of receiving the Order of Constantine Award, period. It's a very special honor to have it presented this evening by my dear friend Dick Hester here in the Great Hall at 202 Littleton Street. Feels like I'm in a dream, and it really does. Having my Pi Phi sweetheart, Shirley, here, along with daughter Libby and son Jim Jr., is frosting on the cake. I have a strong love for the Sigma Chi Brotherhood, and particularly the Delta Delta chapter. While I was an undergraduate, I learned lifelong lessons of value from my Magister, my big brother Ken Kraft, who unfortunately now is in Chapter 8 role. All honor to Ken's name. I had a wonderful group of pledge brothers, classmates for whom I have learned with, and long-line friendships were formed. I was fortunate to have opportunities to work with both the chapter and the international fraternity through the years, and I treasure those times and those wonderful experiences. Perhaps the highlight of all of my Sigma Chi experiences was working on the Delta Delta chapter house renovation a decade ago, and God did it need renovation. Partnering with Harold Force in 1973, and my dearest friend and pledge brother Bernie Surgiscutter, we accomplished something of significance that hopefully will bring positive experiences of living in the most historic and well-maintained chapter house in the country to undergraduate Sigma Chi's at Purdue for many decades in the future. So thank you, dear friends, and God well.
Delta Delta sweetheart Alyssa Garnett was at the dinner, along with her brother JT and her father Joe, both Delta Delta SIGs. After dinner, a picture was taken of the 40 alumni brothers who attended. And then we visited the new garage, where the undergraduate team is preparing for the Grand Prix race that will take place in just a few days. Another wonderful event at 202 Littleton Street.
We never bluff, we're game at any cost. No was a gang of college days to meet us in a muss. So fill your lungs and sing it out and shout it through the sky. The blue and gold forever, I'm a loyal Sigma Chi.